Hi, thank you so much for joining me. We have a 20-minute kettlebells class today. However, I, like so many people, have really stupid light kettlebells. I don't know what's going on in Austria right now, but I know like 5,000 people with 4-kilogram kettlebells. Those are basically useless until you learn how to use them well. And that's what we're gonna do in class today. So this is a kettlebell workout, but it's also going to be the kind of workout that you can create your own home circuit based upon the moves that we do today. I'm just going to try to show you as many movements as I can with 2 light kettlebells, because seems like a lot of people have 2 light kettlebells. I wish they would put them together for 1 heavier kettlebell, but that's how life is. So my kettlebells, as I mentioned, are both 4 kilograms. I'm gonna set those down and I'll get us warmed up. Roll the hips in circles. Good. So feel free always to request some class from me. If you're like, I have one really heavy, odd-shaped dumbbell, tell me, and we'll make it work. Roll the hips in the opposite direction. Whoa. We're gonna start standing up and then we're gonna go down to the ground today. So make sure that you have a yoga mat or something like that underneath you, maybe some carpet. Good. And now let's do a side bend, feet slightly closer, lean to one side, then lean to the other. We don't have a very long warm up today, but for safety reasons, we're definitely gonna get our spine warmer. Here's 4, 3, 2, as usual, I counted wrong. There you go. And now feet wider. Give yourself a spin here. Focus on the spine. Let your hands be heavy and floppy. Rolling around. Bring the hand about to the opposite shoulder. Ooh, I love working with kettlebells. Shout out to Spartan Kettlebells Malta, best kettlebell studio in the whole damn world. I'll take your next training. I will take your next training. I've done some kettlebell work, but they up level it, you know what I mean? Okay, and now hands to those thighs, standing cat and cow, or if you're practicing your German, Katze und Kuh. I probably did not say that well, so correct my pronunciation. Feel free in the comments below to correct my pronunciation. Last 2, 1, and now roll on up. Okay, so we're gonna start with a single kettlebell and get warmed up through our core, our hips, and our glutes. So you take that light kettlebell, it's okay, and start to wind it around your legs in a figure 8 sort of manner. We're here for 45 seconds, and we'll switch which way the kettlebell is moving in the figure 8 after the 45 seconds. So weights in the heel, not after the 45 seconds, I didn't say that right. We're gonna switch kettlebell direction now, halfway through 45 seconds. Whoa! Try not to hit one kettlebell with the other like I just did. So it's to the front, behind, to the front, behind, staying low. Back is a straight line. Hopefully feeling those glutes, hammies fired up. Good, almost there. We have 5 seconds. Okay, and rest. Okay, just to get used to the weight of the kettlebell, we'll do a normal kettlebell swing with just 1. Probably, this could go over your head, but to practice proper swing, we'll bring it to our chest level. So way up high, push forward, up high and back. The goal is to get that kettlebell to go very far back, very close to your groin. And at the top, there is a bit of a hip hinge, but it's more of a squeeze than a hips going forward. Elbows are slightly bent. Of course, if you're doing this with a heavy kettlebell, as kettlebells are meant to be, then you're gonna be really enjoying this workout. 15 seconds. Back and front, back and front. Good, 10 seconds. It does take some control if you have a light kettlebell to land it in front of your chest. And release. Okay, let's grab both of those kettlebells and we'll do a kettlebell low front squat. So with the 2 kettlebells, it lands somewhere between our ankles and then we stand up in 5 seconds. Good, here you go. So again, I'm gonna show you basically just a lot of different movements that you can do with kettlebells in this no repeat format. And what you can do is take 4 or 5 or however many of the exercises that you like and turn them into an at-home circuit. So you can repeat the circuit however many times you want. It's great for if you know you have like 35 minutes, something random. Do 7 different things, 5 times through. There you go. Math, woohoo. 10 seconds. Bump back towards those ankles. Okay. And release. Okay. So now since they're light kettlebells, I want to do the same swing with a kettlebell in each hand. So make sure at the end your legs aren't locked and you're not leaning back. You have a bent, strong position. Ready, go. So for the my shape kettlebells, I turned them hot dog style, long ways, so they have space. I did open my legs slightly wider. Now remember, this isn't a squat, it's like a swing. There is definitely a bit of a down, drop, and squat back, but it's mostly the swinging motion that we're working. The only nice things about these light kettlebells is they're not usually made of metal, so I can just like whack them together and it's no problem. Elbows bent just ever so slightly. 5 seconds. You will feel your biceps working and rest. Okay, so now we're gonna, oops, you can set them down in between if you want. We're gonna do a stepping back or reverse lunge with the kettlebells in both hands. Ready, go. One leg and then the other. So one of the greatest benefits, to kettlebells is their strength training as well as some cardio. I once read a comment that like a minute of kettlebell swings burns more calories than a minute of running. I don't necessarily know if I believe that. And I think it's pretty hard to say because it really depends on your body, how many calories are burned in any given activity. But it did express that kettlebell swings are pretty hard movements to do. That's exciting. And rest. So you can set those down if you want. Now we're gonna have some fun. We'll do a single arm kettlebell swing. So it'll go under, switch in front, under, and switch. The hands can go out to the side if you like, or wherever you want. Go. So switch at the front. Now, this is a little bit dangerous, especially if you're using a very hard or a metal kettlebell. So don't drop it on your toes. I've dropped a kettlebell before and broken it, and I was in a group fitness class in a really cool studio in Malta, not Spartan, FYI. Oh no, it was in Colorado. It was in Denver, Colorado. Anyway, they were pissed. And I'm like, what the hell? Isn't this just a natural thing that might happen when you do sports with like crazy heavy things like kettlebells? Not my fault. And rest. But they didn't make me pay for it. Kind of problem. Okay, so now we're gonna do a walking lunge. So find the distance that you can. You'll walk forward and backward with kettlebells by your sides. Go for it. If your kettlebells are super heavy, okay, pause, you're gonna walk backward. Sorry. So, and it's a lunge. My God, I'm so shitty at this. Lunge backward. If your kettlebells are very heavy though, you can walk instead. That's what I should have said at the beginning. And hopefully you can do 4 instead of 3 like me. Hopefully you have more space. But if you are doing the 3, switch lead leg. Almost there. and rest. Okay, so we'll take 2 kettlebells. Well, actually, let's do this first for the size. Take 1 kettlebell in each hand and you rock from side to side for an oblique workout. Yeah, ready, go. I love this. If you take my yoga sculpt classes, you know we often use this movement as a transition. Make sure the tailbone is pointing more or less toward the ground, so it's just not sticking out. The point of your tailbone, though, depends on your body. Lean deep to the side. Think about folding your top ribs over your hips. 15 seconds. Good. 10 seconds. And think about the ribs pulling backward as well. It's really easy to kind of start sticking the ribs out, even if the tailbone is also tucked in, and release. Okay, so you can take your kettlebell swing all the way over your head. If you have shoulder issues or back issues, keep it at your chest. And we're gonna start with 1 kettlebell just to be on the safe side anyway. Ready, go. Also, one thing to check when you're doing kettlebell swings is that the space behind you is also safe. Not only from just swinging the bell through and hitting something, but also, again, dropping that bell. I think when you do kettlebells, it's a good idea to do it in a padded room. I'm sure all of you have access to a padded room, maybe with white walls. Is that just me? Huh. Ooh, 15. Kettlebells is great for grip work. If you have wrist issues, get those kettlebells in your hands. 5. And rest. Okay, so next, we're gonna come into a plank pose and we're gonna do a kettlebell pull through. So you'll drop the bell on one side, you'll pull it under your body, and then pick it up and pull the other way. Go for it. One thing to make sure here is that the hands do stay underneath the shoulders. So since the kettlebell is light, it's really quite easy to pull. Instead of dragging, I'm actually gonna pick it up and move it. But if your kettlebell is quite heavy, you will just drag it. If you're on a yoga mat and it's hard to do, it's okay to keep the kettlebell on the mat. Yeah, you won't get such a deep pull, but it'll still have the effect you're looking for. Try not to let the hips sway from side to side. 10 seconds. I love this for serratus, lats, side core, and rest. Okay, step on in. This option is a double overhead kettlebell swing. There is some shoulder stabilization involved. Again, if your shoulders aren't super healthy, just do 1 kettlebell. Ready, go. So I'm gonna go a little bit slower because at the top there, ooh, feel that wrist working. And it actually is a great thing as like a physical therapy for the wrists to walk and hold a kettlebell at 90 degrees. Maybe we'll do it. We'll do it actually after this. Just because I mentioned it, now I want to do it. Elbows softly bent, even when overhead. 15. Oh, this is getting exciting now. Shoulders down, even when arms are up. And rest. Whoa. Okay, let's do it, let's do it. We're gonna do half the time in one arm. So, one hand, I should say. This is where the kettlebell is. I'm starting with my stronger hand so I can actually demonstrate. Hold it and walk. And just for balance fun, we're gonna walk the opposite direction. So notice that my hand is in neutral. So I'm not I don't have my wrist like this, or like this, or like this, or like this. It is knuckles above wrist. Okay, ready? Switch arms. This is my less strong wrist. Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. It's hard to keep neutral. There I go. Yes. Yeah. I've been having some wrist issues. I was in physical therapy, and now I've just been doing a lot of hanging A lot of pull-ups, not full pull-ups. I suck at those, but I'm getting better. And my wrist can do this. I used to not be able to do this. Yay, see? See? Physical therapy and working on shit helps. Okay, single leg, reverse lunge with 1 or 2 weights held overhead. Go. So just one leg here. Good. So you could do 1 weight. I think we're about halfway through class, probably feeling pretty jazzy. So if you want to start up leveling it with the 2 weights every time, that's great. If you do have a history of back pain though, hands overhead is not a good idea. You'll want to just hold the weight at your chest. Whoa, hard to balance here. 15 seconds. Ooh, 10. Step all the way back. 5. And rest. Hands come down. Other side, opposite leg. How are you doing? Okay, 5 seconds. This class makes me feel better about these kettlebells because I've been really irritated about how light they are. Go. Rib cage moves towards spine. And for balance, try to spread out your toes inside of your shoes or do this workout without shoes on. Yeah. All the weights in that front glute. 10 seconds. And rest. Okay, back down for our plank. So in plank, my kettlebell is way too big for this. You could keep your hands on top of the bell, but mine doesn't have the right ergonomics. We're gonna do a row, one arm, then the other. Go for it. So here, for my hand placement, usually I set the kettlebell directly underneath my wrist so that when my hand lands, it's still under my shoulder. And when I pull the kettlebell up, it's in the proper location between my ribs and hips. So the number one mistake I see about planks is people let their hands go too far forward unintentionally. That is a core workout, but only if you have the proper form, and they don't, because they don't realize their hands are so far forward of their body. So it's important to be aware of that all the time. And now even it out. Excellent. And now stay on the ground. So if you have knee issues, you'll just do this with the kettlebell and not with the lean. If you don't, flip that kettlebell over, hold it by the bottom, lean back from the knees, and come up. So right now it's reciprocal. Our body goes back as our kettlebell goes forward. If you really struggle with this lean back motion, having the kettlebell here, making it reciprocal with you is actually such an awesome way to get better at the motion. It'll offset your motion and help you to stay upright. Squeeze that booty here. Think about actually lengthening the spine as you lean back. 10. 5. And rest. Okay, holding the kettlebell this way, you can stand up though first. We're gonna go into a goblet squat. So you can have one kettlebell or both kettlebells. If it's both, the grip is here. If it's single, it's from underneath. Go. Good. Oops, sorry if I just hit the microphone. So I've got the double kettlebell grip. The handles of the kettlebell are turned toward each other, and the kettlebell is just resting on my wrists. Again, you could do any of this with one kettlebell or two, one heavy or two light. Hell, you could do this workout without any kettlebells at all. Just move. 15 seconds. 10. Oh yeah. We have 5. And rest. Okay, so now we're gonna do a single arm, I guess it's a kettlebell snatch. So it's down to the ground, you turn your wrist under the belt and then press it up overhead. Ready, go. Press, pop, and down. So it's a little bit of like a circle motion. I'm gonna get close so you can see. If you do barbell training, it's a little bit like a clean and press. Push, pop, and this is great for stabilizer muscles and wrists and elbows and shoulders. Other arm out to the side isn't necessary, but I do find it damn helpful. 15 seconds. Good. And if it's very light, you can always go faster. And rest. Okay, other side is next. So one thing you do kind of need to get used to in kettlebell training is the kettlebell hitting your forearms. That's why you see a lot of trainers wearing sweatbands, not just because they look cool. Other arm, go for it. Pop, push, and lower. This is a total body movement, top to bottom, and there's some agility. Yeah. Heels into the ground, toes turned out. Push, press. Yes. Remember, it is possible to keep the chest wide even when the bum goes down. 15 seconds. I like this one. Makes me feel like a superhero in a comic book. Aww. And up. Can you guess what's next? 2, you're right. We're gonna do both. Do them both. So it's a pop, pop with both hands. So it goes down, flip it over, push it up. Ready, go. So hands face forward, hands face groin. Hands face forward, hands face groin. You naughty, naughty little fitness person. Turning your hands towards your groin. Oh my God. I'm telling your mother. Gross. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna tell anyone. It's okay. You can do that alone in your house. You don't have to do this in public. Fitness training can happen anywhere at any time. It is your right, nay, your responsibility. 5 seconds. And release. Okay, let's get into our final 2 swings. They are single arm swings. So if your kettlebells are super tiny and you can hold both in one hand to do it, my grip is too heavy. Ready, go. So a long time on this one side is gonna tempt you to start dropping the shoulder down of that arm. Don't do it. Think about leaning forward and still maintaining the square position of the shoulders and the hips. We have this side, we have the other side, and then we have one core workout, and that's all. Good. There's a ton more things you can do with kettlebells and core, but honestly, it's just whatever you could do with dumbbells and core. So I kind of wanted to keep it interesting here. If you're doing your kettlebell workout correct, then you're gonna have a rest, and you're gonna have a core workout the whole time, the whole entire time. Because every time you come up, you gotta squeeze that belly. Am I right? You felt it, didn't you? I know you did. Ready, go. Control at the top. This side's a lot more wiggly for me. I gotta focus. Get ready to sit down. Stay here, stay focused. Just know that's what's coming next. Reach, squeeze. How far back can you get that booty? How far back can you get that kettlebell? Try to keep your toes on the ground. They're light, but they are on the ground. Rest. Okay, 1 or 2 kettlebells. You're doing a full shoulder stabilization sit up. Shoulderization sit up. Okay, hands are over your chest. You'll sit all the way up, hands still to the sky. Roll back down that way. Go. So the goal here is to keep the hands towards the sky the whole time. The other goal is to roll the vertebra. So really get the curvature of the spine. Roll vertebra by vertebra up and vertebra by vertebra down. This is a deep pelvic strengthener. So if you accidentally squish out a little bit of urine, you're doing it right. I know the things your other fitness instructors don't tell you is not nice. I'm not saying you should. I hope that you don't. But if you do, you have for sure then activated some great deep core work and done. That's it. Good. Set your kettlebells down. Let's take a quick butterfly pose. Just gonna give you a few stretches. That was so much fun. Tell me what you learned. Go ahead, tell me. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that is so good. That's exactly what I hoped that you learned in class today. Thanks so much for giving it a try. Sit up and take one leg over the other for a seated spine twist. And then turn your chest toward your leg and to the back. Head is the last thing to go. I do find my neck can get tight when I do a lot of kettlebell work. So I always try to give it a bit of a stretch at the end. And now come to center and switch sides. So remember, for the twist, a closed twist is where we turn one part of our body toward the other part. So we basically close off the center of the body or the turning point. The opposite is when we open. I'll show you what that is. Don't do it. This would be an open twist here. Just not nearly as rich, if you will. Good. And now let's stretch out the front of our body. We did a lot of forward folding. So roll onto your hips. Bring your hands under your shoulders. If your back is tender, just lift up a smidge and squeeze your butt. If you're doing pretty well, lift up higher, still squeeze your butt. Good. Final part, if you want, is to look up. And now roll all the way back. Toes together, knees apart, head down. Child's pose. Bringing a childlike curiosity to our workouts. Looking around our space, seeing what we have, making it useful. That's what functional fitness is all about. Bring your hands towards your knees, flip your toes, raise the glutes, roll up slow, shoulders back and down. Let's end our class the way I end all of my classes, with a breath and a bow. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Give yourself a bow.